drinking wouldn't have allowed me to explore this other area of me and kind of was keeping me at this level. Like drinking, when you're drinking a lot, never elevates you. It never progresses you forward. All it does is just keep you here. Keeps you here. You know, you never have heard anybody ever say that I am really glad I started drinking again. Nobody's ever said that because there's no reason to be glad if you've stopped and you've seen the positive aspects that drinking has made towards your life being improved in every way, shape, or form. It's like there's no reason to look back, and that's where I'm sitting right now. I'm really not even like, oh, I'm 100 days sober. I hope I can make it 100 more. I'm almost like drinking isn't even a thing for me anymore. I don't drink, and life has gotten so much better without drinking in every way. So I know a lot of people hit me up on Twitter about being sober. I know a lot of people always ask me questions about it. So I've been thinking about this for a long time. I want to form a place where people can get together and talk about issues with addiction. It doesn't have to be limited to alcohol. It can be any other addiction. I know there's every addiction out there. And even if you're having a hard time in life with depression, if you're having a hard time in life with your family, with work, anything, I know that everybody needs somebody to talk to, and not everybody has somebody to talk to. So I'm going to use Ruin Your Day as a platform for that. Every week on Wednesdays, I haven't decided a time yet, probably around 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to have Ruin Your Day live for an hour. And basically what's going to be happening is the chat is going to be live, and that's going to be used as the floor for everybody to talk. I might be on a video feed answering questions to the chat. I might pull up some music that Ruin Your Day made to play. I might play some video in the background. It's going to be sort of a free-form vehicle type of feed. There's not going to be really a set thing that we're doing. The only thing that I want to go on is I want people to feel like it's a safe place to come into and talk and vent, talk to other people, maybe give advice. I'll be in there if anybody wants to ask any questions about being sober. I can give whatever advice I can for that. And yeah, essentially, I just think there needs to be a place like that. I think AA works really well for a lot of people because it's a community. It's a strong-knit community. You have a sponsor that holds you accountable for not drinking. You have other people that are going through the same thing as you. You realize there's a whole world out there of people that just don't drink. And that's rare these days, honestly. So I want there to be a place like that on Ruin Your Day that's doesn't have to be just limited to alcohol. It could be anything. You know, like my parents went through some heart problems this year, and that really devastated me. So, you know, I needed somebody to talk to about that. My ex-girlfriend's dog that I really love got cancer. My close friend just had cancer. So it's been tough for me as well this year, and I'm really thankful that I've had Ruin Your Day to talk to you guys about battle rap and forget about the troubles in my life, but I want to give back, and I want to create a platform where we can all come together and sort of be each other's shoulder to lean on every now and then. So just wanted to make this video to talk about me getting sober, my experience with it. Honestly, to wrap this up, being sober is like probably the best thing that's happened to me in a long time. Me breaking up with my ex-girlfriend that I love to this day has been the best thing that's ever happened to me too as well. It's really like jump-started me to make big improvements in my life that I'm really proud of. And yeah, I mean, I think anybody out there that's struggling with addiction, the first question you need to ask for yourself, if you're thinking that you might have a drug problem, alcohol problem, any sort of problem, is if I'm asking myself if I have a problem, I might have a problem. Do you want to take the next step to solving it? Do you want to get clean? Do you want to get sober? And all I can say is being sober is amazing. It's great. I would never trade it for anything. It works really well for me. Other people can drink responsibly. I'm not one of those people. I can't drink responsibly at all. So, yeah, guys, I just want to thank you all for helping me through my year of sobriety. You guys really made a huge difference in my life. I want to thank everybody out there that supported Ruin Your Day, all the patrons, all the people that did a watch episode, all the guests, all the people that tuned in for watch, everybody that bought merch, everybody that bought music. It means the world to me. So thank you guys. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Ruin an Hour, a show that's live every week, Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we can discuss anything from sobriety, addiction, depression, anxiety, life balance, anything you want under the sun. My name's Avocado. I host Ruin Your Day. I am the owner of this channel, and we are live every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for anybody that wants to stop by and discuss anything that's on their mind. So, how is everybody doing today? Let's start off with that. You guys having a good week? Art saved my life. I think you were talking about how marijuana was slowing your life down. Awesome, Ethan. That's cool to hear. I'm always pleased to hear about this show helping anybody stay sober. That's amazing. How's it going, Desi? Enigmatic Ecstasy, how you doing? Roberto Williams, what's up? Tony Matlock, I can drink responsibly. I don't think I can smoke weed responsibly, but unlike alcohol, weed makes me think of ways that beneficial, and weed and music is dope. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people can, handle marijuana in a way that is therapeutic to their lifestyle. I don't disagree with that at all. I think the main thing is to really see when it's becoming detrimental to you, your life, your health, your financial system, your relationships. That's when anything becomes abusive, is when it's affecting those areas of your life. So if you can handle marijuana, that's totally fine. Sans Palo, 16 months sober today. Congrats. That's big. That's hella big. 16 months, man. That's huge. I think I'm at 15 months. I don't know. Maybe I quit in July of last year. So August, September, October. Yeah, I'm almost at 15 months, I guess. Or like 16, but whatever. I'm like done counting. Like if it's not another year, I'm not really gonna count it up. Dirty Clean, appreciate that. Thanks, Sad727. Appreciate that too. I had a job interview today and I start full time on December 2nd. Feels good. I've been in such a rut with a lot of things in life the past bit. Desi, congrats on the good job interview and getting the job. That's amazing. Congrats on that. That's huge. I know that always takes a lot of stress out of your life when you have like a good job secured. I know that's like a huge stress reliever is when you finally have something secured, you know. Joy Ricotta, a little under the weather, took the night off from work. I took serious strides this past weekend to break out of my shell, though. For months, I hadn't really hung out with many people outside of work. Congrats, Joey. That's fucking awesome, man. Born Savage. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Also, we're doing a watch later tonight, so stick around for that, but we'll talk about that later. Let's see. Dan, I had to find a new group of friends who did not smoke stogies for me to quit. Just being around it makes it so difficult for me. Clean for 5 years. Fuck yeah, Dan. That's amazing. 5 years from stogs? Is that cigars or is that cigarettes? Ethan, appreciate you, man. Mark Hogan, not drinking has also helped me sleep better, which I can't explain how dope that is. Yeah, man, I mean, like, me too. When every single aspect of my life has improved when I've stopped drinking. Like, absolutely every aspect. From sleeping to my energy levels to exercising, everything's better. Like, literally everything is fucking better. The one downside is that you don't drink, but if like everything else is better in your life, then you know what's more important. Sorry, I'm like getting behind on the chat. From Morocco. Thank you, dog. Ayob. I'm totally mispronouncing your name, but I appreciate that from Morocco, dog. That means a lot to me. Mark Hogan, did Bender passing have anything to do with you stop drinking? No, it did not. Bender's passing was not alcohol related, but no, it didn't, essentially. What made me stop drinking was me and my ex-girlfriend breaking up. That was like the big thing, the big coming to God moment that it's like I'm fucking up. Like I fucked up the most important relationship I've ever had in my entire life that I put like that 10 years of my life was put into, and I fucked it up by cheating on her a lot, and just doing terrible things, and then also drinking and making her not want to be around me. So that was like the moment where it was like, you got to change who you are. Not because I still was me, but you got to change how these addictions are controlling you. And that's really what pushed me to make the change and get sober. Jordan Williams, do you have any advice for young adults and love watching you react to rums? Jaden, sorry, I'm saying Jaden, geez, man, I'm terrible at reading. Jaden, what do you mean by, do I have any advice for young adults? What kind of advice are you looking for? Got Germs 1, I wish I could stop drinking. You totally can. You 100% can. You just have to want to stop drinking. Not drinking, for me, was really easy. I'll say that. I know it's not easy for everybody. I know everybody's journey is different, but you totally can make whatever change in your life you want. Your life can be whatever you want it to be. You just have to do it. Drinking is not more powerful than you are. Any addiction is not more powerful than you. You are more powerful than any fucking addiction out there. Any drug, anything. You can get through whatever you want in life. There's people out there that run 100 miles a day. There's people that have done the impossible that people said we couldn't do. You know, we went to the fucking moon. Like, we have these iPhones in our pockets. We can do whatever we want. You just have to want to do it. And that's the big thing, is going through that. It's hard. It's not easy work to get through an addiction, to get off and get clean, but you can definitely do it. I will say that. No matter what you're addicted to, what vice you have, anything, you can get clean. Stayed home from jiu-jitsu today. Body needs a break. The mind needs maintenance just as much. Jay, hella true, man. Like, you can't go hard every day in the gym. You got to take rest days. Maddie, I have court tomorrow, but open and shut case, so I'm not worried. Congrats. That's amazing. Sucks I have to take time off work, though. Yeah, that blows, but good thing you're getting that taken care of. Sad. Man, I'm totally losing track of where I was. 3 months sober today. Surround yourself with positive people. Fuck yeah, sad 727. That is incredible. Stogs cigarettes. Okay, good for clarifying that. With weed, I gotta be hell careful because you recognize that you have an addictive personality. It becomes possible to get addicted to things that aren't inherently addictive. Limitless boundaries. Yeah, Ethan, that's 100% true. I mean, I'm a sex addict, so sex is something that people not necessarily commonly view as being addictive. I mean, a lot of people even like make fun of sex addicts. Like, people make fun of the Saga all the time for like being a porn addict. Like, that's like a common joke in the battle rap culture, but it's not funny, man. I'm the same exact way. Like, I was a porn addict, and I started shooting porn because I was addicted to porn. I was addicted to sex, and I lacked intimacy in my life. Even though it was there, I was turning it away. And you can totally get addicted to anything. Right now, I think I'm sort of addicted to affection. Like, that's why I'm so hung up on my previous relationship, because it was very affection-based. And my ex-girlfriend is a very affectionate woman. So I think I'm slightly addicted to that. But you can get addicted to anything. You can get addicted to food. You can get addicted to sex. You can get addicted to working out, to work. You can be a work addict. The way is you just need to find a healthy balance to where it doesn't overtake your life. Like, sex was overtaking my life. I was shooting porn. I was cheating on my girlfriend like crazy. I was not caring if like I was getting in dangerous situations. And you can do that with anything. You can work yourself to death. You can work yourself 7 days a week for 15 hours a day. You can eat until like you're like uncomfortable every single time you sit down at the dinner table. It's just about finding that balance. Sorry, I totally missed where I was at in the chat. But let me scroll back up. Did I ever attend AA? No, I went to SAA though, and that's for sex addicts. And it's basically the same program, just for sex addiction. And it didn't really resonate with me personally because I couldn't get past the hardcore higher power religious base behind it. And to be quite honest, also I got a couple sponsors, and really it turned into like a bunch of sponsors just wanted to hear like what type of sex I was having for them to get off. Like it was not a very good situation. It was like kind of like more predatorial, and I felt very uncomfortable in it. So honestly, the thing that's helped me get sober is something that's kind of problematic, is because my ex-girlfriend really helped me get sober, and she's kind of been my higher power, but it's problematic now because we're not together, so it's like an issue with me, and that's like a deep thing of my sadness nowadays is that. But yeah, AA, SAA are great programs. They're wonderful programs that help a lot of people become clean. I know a lot of people that have been in AA their entire life that are clean and sober and completely happy, and the program works. It doesn't work for everybody. It didn't really work for me. I don't think it did not work for me because I chose to not really go through with it, but some people just don't. It doesn't resonate with some people like myself, and yeah, I just chose a different route, more unorthodox route. Let's see, I'm just gonna scroll to the bottom. Yeah, Desi, it was. It definitely was. It was not good at all. And that's why there's like like every time I got a sponsor, I felt like either A, they weren't really trying to be of service to somebody else. They were just trying to do that step in the program and work the program and just do their part for themselves. And then other times people would just like ask a lot of details about like my sex life, and I felt like they were trying to like essentially get off. So yeah, it wasn't good. Matt Leader, that's a really good advice. The hard truth is sometimes people aren't ready for change. It's really hard to change unless you want to change. 100%. Very true. I have stopped drinking in the past, and I stopped drinking, I think 3 years ago now, because I keep, yeah, it's 3 years because it was a year. Yeah, I think like either 2 or 3 years ago, I stopped for 100 days, and essentially it was more so of me just taking a break, and then I went back into drinking and just started drinking hardcore again. Same with me cheating on my ex-girlfriend and being disloyal. I tried to stop a lot. I tried to stop a ton, and I remember like seriously having addictive thoughts of when I was going to shoot a porn scene or something like that, being like, this is the last time. I just need to do this one scene and then I can quit. And that's such a saying of an addict. And it wasn't until me and my ex-girlfriend like went through some rough stuff that I was able to stop. And then when we broke up, it's like now I'm single. Like I've been single for a year and a half. I haven't been on a single date in a year and a half. I've no romance in my life. No love interests. And it's weird because it's like in the past I thought if I ever got single, if me and my ex-girlfriend ever broke up, that I would just go back to shooting porn, and I would just be like I would live this crazy bachelor lifestyle and drink all the time. And it's really crazy because now I like haven't had sex in a crazy amount of time, and it's not something that I'm like, oh, I need to like, get off or whatever. But it's like the change came from within myself. Like I wanted to change. I wanted to be a better man. I wanted to be a better human. And that you're right, the change comes from within. So Rufus, good luck. Good luck, man. Alex asks, congrats on your recovery. Thank you, man. I have a question. Do you think that once an addict, always an addict? Meaning, can someone get clean and then go back to casual drinking? I I don't see. The thing is, I think a lot of people have different opinions about that. So I'm not going to say my opinion is the right opinion, and there's only one way to live. I think everybody is different, and I think there probably are people out there that can get sober for an amount of time and maybe go back to casual drinking. But to be really honest with you, I've never seen that happen. I've never seen somebody get sober and been able to go back and be a responsible drinker. I don't think I've ever seen that happen. Like, even I don't even know if I would be able to do that. I kind of like think I'm done drinking forever. Like, I don't think I'm gonna drink alcohol ever again because I just don't know if it's possible for me to go back and be casual about it. Yeah, Desi brings up a good point. Addicts will always have addictive personality no matter what the addiction is. That's really true. Shaquille, yeah, 100%. Working out is a great helper for addiction to depression. It takes your mind off of it. It makes you feel good after. Yeah, exercise is like the number one great thing you can do for yourself in every way, shape, and form. I mean, like, I would not know what I would be without the gym. Like, I know I definitely talk about working out a lot, but really it's a huge therapeutic thing in my life. Every day is not promised. That's really true. Matt Leader, being an addict and getting sober is an everyday battle. Take it one day at a time. That's completely true. Khaled, appreciate you, man. I mean, everybody in the chat, you guys are the community. I'm just, I'm just sitting here chatting with you guys on a computer. How did I realize I was an addict? What reflection did I make? I always knew that I was an addict. I always knew that. It was just a lot of denial because it was easier to deny that I was an addict and take like, and also I think it's a big shift in my who I am over the past year and a half. My ex girlfriend leaving me and kind of like crushing heartbreak has really changed me a lot, pushed me to become a person that I want to be more. I knew I was an alcoholic for a really long time. I knew that it wasn't cool how much I drank, but I ignored it because it was easier to drink and have fun, because I was selfish. And I ignored being a sex addict because it's easier to just cheat on my every single girl I've been with and just have wild sex behind their backs because it's easier and it pleases me, you know? Um, so that's the thing. Is like when you're doing stuff like that, I think you can justify anything you want to make yourself feel okay with what you're doing. Like, even if you're doing something terrible, like I cheated on a woman that I love more than anything in the world, like that I would like right now like shoot myself for. But you justify it when you're doing it. It's really wild. And I knew that I was an addict the whole time. I knew that I know I'm addicted to sex. I know that I like can't stop. I can't stop shooting porn. I can't stop sleeping with people. I can't stop drinking. I don't want to stop. I remember like I had a coworker one time be like, if I never have a drink of alcohol in my life, I would be fine. Like I could like go throughout my whole life again right now, not drinking alcohol ever again. And I remember thinking, I was looking at him like, that's the craziest thing I've heard anybody say. You would never drink alcohol again? And I remember even when I was thinking that, I'm like, no, it's kind of crazy that I think like that it's alarming that I'm alarmed that he's saying that. What he's saying is fucking normal. Like, you should totally be fine with never having that thing in your life. It's not a necessity for you to live. That's not like saying I would be fine if I never drank water again because no, you fucking wouldn't. You would die. But alcohol is different. So yeah, I definitely knew that I was an alcoholic for a long time. It just took like a lot of pain and like eye-opening moments to make me realize what I had to do to uh, be the person that I wanted to be and be the person that I wanted to love myself as. Like I wanted to be somebody that's sober. I wanted to be somebody that's doing good in the world. I didn't want to be somebody that was like constantly like hurting the people that loved me. I didn't want to do that anymore. I wanted to be like a good person, you know? And that's kind of what made me change. I was like, well, drinking is a really bad thing in my life. It makes me do things that are terrible. It doesn't improve my life in any way, shape, and form. So that's the first thing to go, you know? I mean, the first thing obviously was the sex addiction, but that I hadn't really been doing that for like a year or a year and a half before me and my ex-girlfriend broke up. But even now, me being single, I still kind of struggle with it. There are times that I think I'm like, maybe I should just go back to shooting porn. I'd be happier and not so lonely. But immediately I get this like knee-jerk reaction of like, man, I would feel so fucking bad doing that. Like I would just feel terrible. And I didn't used to feel like that. I used to be able to shoot and feel bad deep down inside, but I would just run back to my ex-girlfriend and life would go on as usual. Really sucks saying all that. I feel like a horrible fucking person, but that's the truth. That's what happened. So have I read any books that have helped in my journey? I haven't read any like sobriety based books, no. But two books that I did have read, and I've been meaning to read more books. That's definitely my fault. Two books that I've read recently that have really helped out is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson and Emotional Agility by Susan David. Both good books. Harlow. My whole fam are drinkers, so it was hard, but I'm golden now. I feel so much better. I had a glass of wine on New Year's Eve, got a headache buzz, and fell asleep. Good to hear that, man. Congrats. I also come from a family of drinkers as well. High on Heroin asks, so what does one do if people hit them up to help them find drugs? Like I'm the connected friend, but I'm an addict. These people aren't. Oh, these people aren't addicts? I would say if you're trying to stay clean, don't connect people to your connects. I feel like you should change your lifestyle to ultimately change because have like if to be really honest, I would delete what I would do. I did this when I stopped shooting porn. I blocked the numbers because for pornography there's all these talent agencies that have like models and they know that a lot of porn producers, especially amateur porn producers like myself, are just sex addicts that are just like using this to have sex on camera. So they know if they hit me up at the right time, it will trigger me and I'll want to shoot. So what I did, because I know they'll just constantly hit me up, and I don't know if like your connects or your drug dealers do this too. I figure they might. They would hit me up with like pictures, you know, and like obviously that would trigger me, and I'd be like, okay, cool, I'll shoot a scene today, you know. What I did is I would block the numbers in my iPhone. You can block people, and then I would delete their numbers. So there would be no way of them hitting me up, and you forget their numbers if you delete the contacts. There's no way of me hitting them up. So I would highly suggest you do that for any drug-related anything. Even friends that you have that are like hard on drugs, friends that you have maybe that are like not really understanding of your sobriety, anybody that you feel like you might slip up around, that aren't your true friends, obviously. But I thought that was a good thing. So, I have been kind of on a plant-based diet. I've been like pretty much meat-free for a while. I mean, I had eggs today, and sometimes I have like carne asada tacos and El Pastor and stuff like that. But generally, I eat meat-free. I haven't thought about going completely plant-based, but it's an option for sure. Let's see. Change your whole lifestyle. Drop some porno gems you filmed. I would rather not share that, man. That's like very triggering for me. Sorry, man. Yeah, the porn industry is exactly like the drug game. The porn industry is a horrible fucking industry. It preys on people, preys on sex addicts, and it's kind of funny because me and my ex girlfriend were one time having a conversation about it when she, like one of the many times she caught me cheating, and she was saying how she thinks everybody in the porn industry has some sort of mental issue, whether it's like me, whether they're sex addicts or something else, and that's it's pretty true. Honestly, it's pretty true. Like the industry is full of people that suffer from depression, suffer from substance abuse, or alcoholics, suffer from sex addiction. Sex addiction is the biggest thing, obviously, because your whole living is based on sex, and it's also based on sex that's not intimacy based. It's like devoid of intimacy, if anything. Do I talk with my mom about this kind of stuff, like porn and addiction? Yes, I do. I've told my whole family about this stuff. I'm telling the whole world right now on the internet, but yeah, me and my mother are very close. I told her about all that stuff. Because the main thing is I think it was appropriate for her to know more about me, but more importantly for her to know why me and my ex-girlfriend broke up, because I didn't want my ex-girlfriend to be viewed by my parents as being the one who just like left me. I wanted them to know that there's a reason why we're not together. And it's because I cheated on her for like 3 years. So it's like, so they won't view me as the victim, because that's not true. Ethan Lewis, no, I don't. I don't keep any of the footage I've shot. It's all deleted. A lot of it's online, unfortunately, but that's my price to pay. So it is what it is. But yeah, I don't keep any of it. Obviously, I have no footage of any scenes I've shot anymore. I deleted all of them. On the flip side of that too, I've lost tremendous amounts of money over being in porn. Also, like, we're talking about addiction affecting you financially, and that's an issue. The sex addiction I've had crippled me financially. Like, I think 1 year I spent like $50K on shooting scenes, like $50,000. I'm like in major tax debt over that too. So yep, Desi, completely agree. Everybody has issues. I don't say that in like a malicious way. I just think it's from being in the industry and having issues myself. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody, because I'm not. I'm the same. I have a lot of issues. Thanks, Dirty Clean. Appreciate that, man. Thanks, Desi. Appreciate that. Yeah, she's really strong. That's why it's so hard for me to let go, because it's like truly, yeah, I don't think I'm going to meet anybody like her ever again. So, Mo Flow, thank you. Appreciate that. Saint Soldier TV, he had a heart attack. We might get another watch with my mom, possibly. I'm going to be in Colorado for a week, so it's possible. Shaquille, yeah. Me and my ex talk a lot, or we used to. I haven't talked recently, ever since like my birthday, which was like not a good day for me. We decided that I'd be initiating communication, and right now I'm trying to see if I can like really finally break up with her and like move on. But before that, yeah, we've talked about everything, and I've apologized to her. She's forgiven me. She completely doesn't resent me for anything I've done. I've forgiven myself. And yeah, so if I wasn't so in love with her still, we'd be really good friends. We'd be really good friends. We'd be like best friends almost. But I still love her, so it's a huge issue. Bisco, what's up, man? How you doing? Tony, thank you. I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm an open book. Literally, I will tell you guys anything if it's helpful. That's awesome. D. Emmanuel, how you doing? Yeah, Ethan, it's hard. It's really fucking hard. Like, literally, for a year and a half, there's like five. Like, I was thinking about it, and I'm like, there's not 10 seconds that go by that I don't think of her. Like, and that sounds like so, I guess, weak and sad, but it's like the truth. And it follows me like everywhere. Like anytime I'm having like a really enjoyable moment or happy, and like I've not really said this publicly, but like what is the worst times for me is events, is filming battle events, because I used to really look forward to coming home and seeing her, and she was like a very big source of like relief for me and like solace. And so at battle events, I miss her like so much. It's like almost crippling. So yeah. I can relate to a lot of what you say. I have a bad pattern lately of getting off work and having a drink and always telling myself, well, I have just one. And then I even go start my car so it's warming up. Ethan, for 8 years, I couldn't get over an ex of mine. It made me so bitter in all my relationships. Like nobody could be her. Yep, that's exactly how I feel, man. Bell, thank you. Rare Rebel, salute. How you doing? High on heroin. Is it possible to forget why you love drugs to the point of no longer having the desire to use? Maybe. I think the main thing that will help you move on from drugs, though, is wanting to be sober. I think not thinking about the high or the feeling, because that's just going to trigger you. It's like, oh, it feels so good. That's just going to trigger you. It's so good to like do heroin. It's so good to do like this drug. Desi, I'm hoping this job helps me disconnect from my ex because I lack social life. I tend to seek the wrong intimacy from him. Maybe being around people at work will help me. Desi, I bet you will, honestly, because it's really hard to meet people as an adult in an organic way now. I mean, there's like dating apps out there, but I've never been on a dating app, and I don't want to go on a dating app. But I think being socialized in a new environment will gratefully help, and will probably put some distance between you and your ex. You'll probably make new friends, connect with new people. Had a therapy session with my old therapist. He was blunt and that I had relapsed and could have died. Looks like I'm going to do intensive course, 4 hours of therapy every day for 2 weeks. Cull Obsidian. I mean, that sucks, man. That's like, sorry to hear about the relapse. But this is a good thing, man. This is like, recovery is not easy. It's not meant to be easy either. It's a really hard thing to do. And you can do it, man. You just gotta like really do the fucking work. It's gonna be hard as fuck, but you're worth it. You're totally worth it. You're worth all the effort in the world to put into yourself. Like, if nothing else is, you are. You're like worth your best, and you want the best for yourself. And getting clean and getting sober is only going to be the best for you. So putting those hours in, there's no reason to get lazy over that. You have every reason to not be lazy and put those hours in and go to therapy every day. So I wish you the best of luck, man. You got this shit. Have you always had a hard time with breakups? No, I've not. Actually, not. I mean, I kind of have. I mean, everybody, I guess, like when they like have their first love and they break up, it's like rough, and they I think I took my first breakup really hard because like she left me for another person, which is a good thing in the long run because she's married to that person now, so it like worked out. But I mean, the typical thing where it's like a couple months of sadness. I've never had a breakup like this where it's like a year and a half of pain. I don't think I've ever been with somebody that I've had this much history with, and I don't think I've ever loved anything as much as I loved my ex-girlfriend. So Coal Obsidian, man, hell yeah. That's great to hear, man. That's great to hear. Keep it up. Keep up the work. I know it's not going to be easy, but you got this shit. Do you think reaching out to alcohol or anything addicts has something to do with not having a real connection in your life? It's an escape, right? Temporarily. Yeah, of course. I mean, everybody's addicted for different reasons, but I think a big thing is lacking intimacy in your life. And that's why a lot of people turn to drugs or turn to alcohol, wanting to numb stuff, because the simple feeling of turning a negative feeling into a positive feeling is so appealing. And it's like, why would you? Of course, I feel bad right now. I can just drink this bottle full of vodka and I'll feel a little bit better for a little bit of time. And then the next day I'll feel even worse. Cycle goes on, cycle goes on. But the thing is always there to make you feel better like that. And it's harder to put work in to yourself and really get happy. So yep, Desi. It's fucking hard, huh? It's fucking hard. Ugh. Thank you, Frankie. Matt Leader, exactly. That's such a good point. The problem with using anything to cope with something negative, so it doesn't remove the negative thing. It just distracts you from it and can cause other issues. 100% Using causes issues. It doesn't remove the negative feeling. It doesn't actually address the problem. All it does is just put a blanket over it. The blanket's just going to dissolve in a couple hours when your high wears off or when your new buzz wears off. But that's hella true. That's fucking hella true, Matt. But yeah, what else do you guys want to chat about? Ethan Lewis, that's a good point, man. Um, Pleasure wears off and fleeting. Yeah, I am. I mean, finding a healthy addiction is completely good. You know, like getting addicted to helping people, getting addicted to exercise. It's definitely good. But it's definitely like, you got to balance it out and not be like addicted, Hell yeah, Matt. That's fucking dope, dude. Lucho, what's up, man? Good to see you in here. What do you think about the sobriety coin system being able to see the physical manifestation of your sobriety in a data coin? Do you think it would help to be a reminder to stay sober? Yeah, I think so. I think for many people, it's very healthy to be like, boom, I got this fucking coin, and like work towards it and be like, I just want that thing that represents all this time, because time is relative. Time is like not. It's like it's just this thing that we don't have a physical like object about it. So I think the coin is dope. I think it is tight. Desi, you don't struggle with drinking anymore, but are you triggered with other addictions, and how do you cope? Yeah, I mean, I'm triggered with my sex addiction pretty often. Like I haven't had sex in a very, very long time, and like I'm triggered by that. Just like any other human is. Like, I have needs, I have wants. Having sex is a natural thing. I think like the trigger though, I mean the coping way that I cope with it is when I'm triggered, I do what's called riding the wave, and that's where you just ride the wave out. because it's like, I don't know if you guys have ever been like triggered to do anything, to drink, use, to have sex, like whatever. If you just like sit on it, don't act on it for a while, and do something else, I bet like an hour or two into that other activity, you'd be like, wow, I can't believe like 2 hours ago I was even thinking of this, or I was even like triggered this hard. You know, it's, I just ride the wave out essentially now. So I thought white knuckling was described as when you don't go to AA. I've heard people describe white knuckling as that, but I could be wrong. Could be the terminology. Yeah, the more times you ride the wave, the more strong you get to resist the temptation. Exactly. That's 100% true. It becomes, you have to essentially to like, because you're going to get triggered. You're going to get triggered no matter what your addiction is. If it's drinking, you're probably going to get triggered at some point. You need to learn to, you know, deal with it. And I think riding the wave is the best way to describe it. Yep. Winding the tap forward. Think about the direct fallout of what you're about to do. If I can't just do a little, it'd be days, so I focus on that. Yep. That's hella dope. Exactly. Like thinking about the result of what you're going to do is a big thing. I think that can be said to a lot of things, not even just addictions. Like, I have like temper issues too. I have like a quick temper. And that's something that I developed growing up in like a sort of toxic masculine environment household where there was like just my mother and it was like a bunch of men. And I think now I take a second before I react and kind of sit in that area where I have a choice on how I react. And oftentimes I do what I don't think I should, what I don't really feel like I want to do. Like sometimes, like if, you know, like for example, like, you know, when my ex-girlfriend told me that like she doesn't want to be with me in the future, she wants to be with somebody else. Like my initial reaction is to go like, you hurt me, you broke my heart just now. But the thing that I did was I said, I understand. You know, I understand where she's coming from. And that opened up different dialogue for me to understand more. Same with drinking or like having sex or shooting a porn scene. Like, you know, I just sit back and don't do what my initial like knee-jerk reaction is to do. So, yeah, hopefully that helps. Grant, that's amazing to hear, man. Congrats on that. I was drinking to sleep but not getting drunk. Well, that I'm really proud that you had that awakening, dude. That's amazing. Yep, Ethan, 100% true. That's like, and that's why I'm, you know, to be honest with you, the breakup was initially me. I broke up with her because I knew that I was causing her so much trauma and she wasn't ultimately happy. And that's the thing is like all I want is for her to be happy at the end of the day. So that's not just with me. I want her to be the happiest she can be, and if she wasn't happy in the relationship with me, she's happier now. And that's all that matters. So I treated my girlfriend like crap for like a month because I was so short-tempered when I quit nicotine, but she stayed with me through it and worked with me like the angel she is. Plantain or plantain. If it wasn't for my girlfriend, I would probably be going through my 9th year of addiction. Congrats, man. You got a winner by your side. That's incredible, man. Congrats on that. And Grant, 4 months sober, clean eating. I want to thank you for posting what you did to make me see the light. Grant, congrats on that, dude. You did the fucking work, and you deserve all the applause for that. That's incredible. Cole, have a good night, dude. Get some good sleep. Good luck on your recovery. You fucking got this, dude. You can do this. Bisco, that's crazy. You and your fiance have the same sobriety date. That's amazing. Word, Ethan. Yeah, it's hard, man. It's fucking hard. The paranoias. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. What else you guys want to discuss? Tony, good to hear that, man. Attack the weed and sex addiction. It's a really tough thing to kind of attack nowadays because it's so normalized to be like a sex addict, kind of. It's like so normalized, just like, that's, I don't know. It's so normalized, period. But yeah, congrats on that, dude. I appreciate you. Going cold turkey versus weaning yourself off, mostly drinking. I went cold turkey, but I know that's not for everybody, and I know it's potentially really dangerous to your health to go cold turkey. It depends on how much you're drinking. But I went cold turkey, and that was the only way I could do it. I wouldn't be able to wean myself off because I would just keep drinking more and more. So, do I believe that sometimes the actual environment that you're in can be a huge obstacle in overcoming addiction? Entirely, man. Entirely. If you surround yourself with the environment that is easy to act on your addiction, you're going to keep falling into it. For example, if you're trying to quit smoking and you're like, okay, I smoke when I hear like, or I smoke when I go to bars because everybody goes outside to have a smoke break, and you continue going out to bars with your friends, and you keep smoking, and you're like, ah, fuck, I can't quit. Every time I drink, I smoke. If you keep yourself in that environment, you're going to keep falling into it like a trap. So removing yourself from that environment, changing your lifestyle, is the number one way to really curve that addiction and fall out of those traps. Yep, agree with Matt Leader what he said. Just be careful with alcohol and going cold turkey because it's possible to die from alcohol withdrawal. Just look into how much you're drinking. If you're drinking a lot, I would definitely suggest looking up how to wean yourself off of it. Son, appreciate that. Appreciate you. Oneness. If you know how to help others beat addiction, then you have a duty to be a leader in your community. That's true. If you definitely know how to help others, you should step up. That's a very good point. Smoke mostly is a stress handling mechanism. It's not a social thing for me, so I don't know how to manage the stress. Yeah, managing stress is also a big thing for addicts in general, because that's why I was doing a lot of my addictive personality, or not personalities, my addictions, is I wasn't good at managing stress at all. Damn, dirty clean, that's crazy. That is crazy. Lucho, any thoughts on dating again, or do you find that it's too soon and possibly diminishing to sobriety? I stopped dating after noticing most women my age love to drink. I'm not ready to be around it yet. Um, uh, so I guess my idea on dating isn't really about my sobriety because I can't really see anything pushing me to drink. Period. I don't think anybody can make me relapse. Um, I don't think I'll date anytime soon because I'm still in love with my ex-girlfriend, like deeply still in love, and I'm trying to navigate that. And I don't think it'd be fair to go out and date people when I'm not there to emotionally make myself available, possibly. Double-edged sword of that is that it sucks for me, but it's something that I need to get through, you know. So, but I definitely hear what you're saying is that drinking and dates is super normalized now. Like I have a lot of friends that are single and they go out on dates quite often and they tell me about them, and almost every single date they go on, drinking, smoking is involved. So being sober and dating, I could see being a little bit tricky, but I think if anything, it might help you stick out. You know, people might and find it endearing that you're sober. Bob Evans, thank you, man. Coffee dates too. Desi brings up the good point. Coffee dates. Also, a good thing about coffee dates too is it doesn't set up the assumption that you guys are gonna hook up. You kind of get to know that person more. And to be honest, like one of the things that I love about my ex girlfriend so much is that our connection is super strong, and I just love talking to her and having conversations with her. And I don't think even if I connected with somebody on a physical level, like really well, I don't think I would be able to fall in love with them unless I connected with them on a level where they would enhance my life in a conversation, or like open my eyes to things, push me. Like, so I think going on a coffee date is amazing. I think that would be great for somebody that's sober. Yep, dirty clean. You're in the same place. Sorry to hear that, dude, but you just got to navigate it, like really. And the thing that sucks that everybody knows is that time is the only thing that's going to heal the wound. Is time will go on. It's inevitable, and time will eventually heal us. So oneness. How do you help somebody you love stop drinking? This person drinks every day and is very set in their ways. Um, I would say, if you want to help somebody with an addiction and they're very set in their ways, is approach it from a point of concern and not be critical, but be affectionate and loving, and be like, I love you. I really care about you, and I want the best for you. And I don't think you're giving the best to yourself. I think you're doing yourself some harm, and I think you know it. And I want you to be as healthy as you can be. I want you to be the best you can be, and let's get there. Do you want to try that? Because you can only really do so much. People have to want to change themselves, but I'm kind of like on the fence about like being like you have to change, like you're an alcoholic or like you're addicted to something else, like kind of like cornering somebody into something. Because I know whenever I got cornered in the past of being like you're an alcoholic, you drink way too much, I would get defensive like immediately. So I think there's ways of approaching it from a standpoint of like, I love you, especially if you do love that person, you know, and be like, I want the best for you. Can we try this together, you know? Yeah, Bob Evans, that's rough, man. That's rough when you've given something your all and it doesn't work out. That's really rough. Cookie Crispy, that's a cool name. Yeah, I dream about my ex-girlfriend every night. Like literally every night I dream about her. Um, I never do think of her during the day. I'm pretty happy, but every once in a while, a few months, I'll have a dream of her. Why am I alone? Yeah, I mean, it's just because it's in your mind, it's in your psyche, you know. Like she's very much in my psyche. Like I said, I don't stop thinking about her for like 10 seconds. Like a thought doesn't come up in my mind. Like sometimes I'm just like, fuck, dude. Like all I've thought about for the past like 30 minutes, I feel like is her. It's crazy. It's really insane how powerful love is. It's fascinating, actually. Do I think psychedelics can help you become a better version of yourself? I think I think it's I think psychedelics can be a great tool. I think psychedelics have it's proven that it's helped people get over PTSD. I think it's proven that it's helped people deal with other pains in their lives. Sure, I think it's a tool that should be used in the right circumstances, though, and not abused. So, Dennis, thank you. Did I go cold turkey? Yes, I did. But anything else, guys? It's been an hour. AP, 100%, you're right. Keep it reliable. You sound like you're addicted to your attachment to your ex-girlfriend. Yeah, my therapist told me that too. She said that I'm probably addicted to my ex-girlfriend. And I don't disagree. I completely agree with that statement. I definitely think I have addictive traits of my attachment and my love to my ex-girlfriend, which is tricky because it's like, yeah, it's just a tricky way to navigate through that, unfortunately. So, definitely see where you're coming from, though, man. I wouldn't rule that out at all. I agree with you. I drink while I watch these, and I'm hoping one day something said will push me to change that mindset. Seeing you help fans in your free time is humbling indeed. Tell how much we appreciate it. Anthony, thank you, man. That means a lot. Yeah, I mean, you just gotta want to make the change yourself, dude. Like, if you really want to stop, you can. You just gotta put the bottle down. That's all you gotta do is just walk away from what you're drinking. You're more powerful than that. Like, this alcohol means nothing. It has no power over you. And when you want to stop, we're here for you. Like Desi said, we're here for you. Oneness, it's not impossible to be there for somebody, though. Like, you can be there for somebody as much as possible, and you can try to help them as much as they can, but there definitely is a point where they have to want to help themselves, and you have to accept that, and that's the hardest thing to accept. No power over you until you take a drink. Exactly. 100% true. All right, guys. What is this AA? AA is Alcohol Anonymous. It's a recovery program based around 12 steps. It's for alcoholics and other addictions as well. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. I have a lot of work to do now. But we're doing a watch tonight. It's gonna be a big watch. I always feel weird after these. I just want to be honest with you guys. Like, to be honest, after these, I'm usually pretty sad. But they mean the world to me, and I appreciate you guys being in here. But later on tonight, around like 8 p.m., maybe 8:30 Pacific Standard Time, Hollow and Geechee are gonna do a watch with me, and we're gonna watch Lux versus Verb. So that's gonna be big. So yeah. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night. I hope to see you in the watch chat. And yeah, thank you guys for being in another episode of Ruin an Hour. See you next week or see you later on tonight. Peace out.